Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Bronze Reaper podcast. I'm your host, Rosalind Perkins, and today we got a great show today. Give me 1 second. We actually changed it up. Uh, we changed it up today, and it is the key. What is the key of happiness? The reason why I wanted to do this because I feel we don't really talk about stuff like that. We talk about what's wrong with the world. What is this? What is that? I just wanted to do something different. Um People in life right now that are going through certain situations where times is hard. Times aren't what we expected it to be. But most of us know how to get out of situations like this. Give me 1 second. I have to delete certain stuff. Uh, so we have to, as humans, figure out what makes us happy. Uh, Me, I always been a person that accept everything. That's just a part of my like who I am. Sorry, everybody, my nose itches. But yeah, that's just a part of who I am. I accept everybody who for who they are and what they do. You know, people always say that's weird. You shouldn't do that, but it's I don't know. To certain things in our life, I feel like we should find the pursuit of happiness. I feel like everybody should be happy at some time in their life. Give me a second, everyone. Yeah, I feel like somebody should be. I feel like everybody should be happy at some part of their life, no matter if it's later on in the future. If it's not, give me a second, everyone. All right. I'm almost done, everybody. I'm just fixing the volume. Testing, testing. Yeah, it's just in life. I feel like everybody should pursue of happiness. Uh, this is different for me, so I might have to take a little bit of time of figuring out what I'm gonna say. But I feel like certain people should be happy in their life. Well, most people should be happy in their life. I was just thinking about my guy's music I used to listen to. Homie popped his own top off, because he couldn't live anymore. His name, if you ever heard of him, his name was Avicii. Avicii was probably one of the greatest um, house DJs of this era. He's even up there with David Guetta, we can even say. But something made him not happy. Sometimes just having a whole bunch of money and doing, whatnot doesn't make you happy. It just fills a void in your life where damn, why am I so unhappy? Why, why is the world treating me like this? You know, like I always say that, and like as a black man, I already know that like black men don't really talk about their feelings. Black men don't really tell you what's going on in their life because at the end of the day, people tell us, "Oh yeah, that's not manly like." And also too, what made me think about this was my cousin. I tell you all the time, my cousin he shot his wife. The nigga shot his wife. After like stop laughing, I was like, damn, what was this motherfucking going through? What was he going through without that he couldn't tell his family? You know? Hold on one second. Is the police out in front of my house? Give me a second, everyone. All right, I'm back. Yeah. Then another thing, white people always have somebody to talk to. It's just when it comes to black people, it's just not manly enough. Like we always have to be perfect for everything. You know? And I can see why there's a lot of mental health in the black community. I can see why there's a lot of mental health. Um, I can see why there's a lot of mental health of what goes on in life. It's weird to even talk about stuff like this because at the end of the day, as a black man, we always have to hold more stuff in than most races. Most race and nationalities always have somebody to talk to. And I'm just talking about the whole diaspora. And this is why we have people like 19 Keys and even Tariq Nasheed sometimes. Sometimes we need to hear that, like, yo, you know what? We're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. Because you got to look at it. For the last 400 years, we was always the barbaric one. We was always the one who didn't listen, who didn't who didn't obey the laws. Like we were already. Let me tell you something. I was born into this world like that. I was born in the world saying that like I'm already disobedient. I'm already disrespectful. I don't listen to the law. You know, and these cops are. And I always tell people this. These cops always talk about, oh yeah, black people are the most violent people. But how we the most violent people? And the only thing we want to do is get a job and support our fucking family. And here come you having a bad fucking day, and you give me your problems. Then once I say, oh, whoa, that's not part of the law, hold up. You're not complying. You're not complying. Then I come home, the ever changing women because of the feminist movement. I have to blame the feminism movement. Because the girl who I thought was for black Americans really wasn't. She was a feminist herself. And I'm talking about Angela Davis. I loved me some Angela Davis when I was younger. I really loved me some Angela Davis. For a light skinned woman, I loved her, but she didn't like men like that. She had her own agenda. Nobody didn't want to play their part. Everybody wanted to be kings and queens. You could be kings and queens in your own world, but not everybody can rule over everybody. It's impossible. I'm gonna have to answer to somebody. I'm gonna have to talk to somebody. I'm gonna have a wise man. Um, like I said, it always has been different for Black Americans. We always had to hold our feelings inside. We always had to, you know, be the alpha male and be still compliant. We always had to figure out, oh, yo, your woman gets in trouble or some shit. You have to figure out how you gonna get her out of her situation she got herself in. Because that's what a man is supposed to do. Nowadays, we look at these, was it cosmetology, was it the Cosmopolitans magazines and websites and stuff, because people don't do read no more, and they be like, oh yeah, this is how my life is supposed to be. People want other people's lives. People always wanted other people's lives. Do I think some of us is envious of other people? Yes. I really do think certain people. I think a lot of us is envious of other people. Damn, I'm working my heart. I'm working my busting my ass every day, man, just to put food on my plate, and I'm still struggling. And all this motherfucker did it is this, and that, and I tried that and I failed. Yo, what type of bullshit is going on? That's how certain people do feel. You know, I always been that person that congratulates people. You know, cause I be happy for people. I be like, yo, whoa, yo, I seen this dude bust his ass and get where he needed to get. He didn't even hang out with us half the time because he was trying to get his shit on. Congratulations to him. He deserved everything he gets. But my other friend on the other side, man, he's a bitch ass nigga, man. Yo, he don't deserve that shit. Like, yo, what? Type of shit are you on, man? What type of time are you on, man? You should be happy, yo. He grew up with us. Nah, fuck that. That's supposed to be my money, because the nigga told you no to something. To his money that he worked hard for. This is times like this, man. You need to find your own happiness, man. Because when you know that shit is out there, man, you don't want to be close to people. Yo, this is why people's circles get little. That's why certain people be like, yo, you know what? My girl ain't acting right. I did all of this for her and she's unappreciative of everything. I'm busting my ass. I'm working 3 fucking jobs. We got this nice house and she's still complaining. That shit, that's why certain people, they be like, yo, you know what? Let me go find love somewhere else. Let me just go to a lounge with this girl and just talk to her. Mentally, you're cheating. Socially, you're cheating. I do believe that. Socially, you do cheat. Because people change up on people. People think you deserve what you have. And this is why we're talking about this now, because at the end of the day, people have to be happy with other people. People have to be happy that a person made it. And this fits into everything that we have been talking about for like a year and a half. Reparations, the black diaspora. Like, are we really happy for each other? Black Americans always been happy for each other, for everybody. Black Americans always support it and say, yo, salute to him. Yo, homie got his paper. Oh shit, yeah, homie's fighting for his for this policy to help his people. It's just, to me, it always feels like when we are trying to get something, when we're pushing to success for ourselves, it's just we never get supported. Black Americans, and I don't want to hear like all these little secret little fucking. Shout out to Kwame. I know Kwame's gonna end up jumping in and saying that, but we don't want to hear that. Oh yeah, a union was supporting us. If you're gonna be my brother, be my brother. If you're gonna be my sister, be my sister. Why am I have to hear you shitting on me online? Then when I defend myself and tell you what's going on and like, yo, you can't really talk about me. Your shit's way more fucked up than mine. Oh, xenophobic. Why you have to fuck up my happiness? Why you have to fuck up what I'm trying to do? Like this happiness shit is serious, man, because at the end of the day, I feel like everybody could have been happy. Everybody could have been fighting for the same cause. It's just nobody don't want to fight for the same cause. Black Americans been pushing that shit for years. We had people from the African and Caribbean countries come over here in the early 1930s and the 1940s. They did contribute. But at the end of the day, we've been doing this shit forever. We've been fighting forever. We have been doing this shit for a very long time. I told y'all everybody Kwame's is gonna pop up over 30, give me a second. I gotta look for this. I told y'all Kwame's is gonna pop up. Over 30 African countries supported African American. No, Kwame. Y'all shit on us. I gotta be personally honest, Kwame. Y'all shit on us. Y'all shit on us a lot. Y'all was the ones talking about, oh, yo, y'all ain't getting it. Why are y'all begging? We were fighting. Was it, let me ask you a question. Was we begging when we was having, protesting and fighting these white supremacies over there, telling y'all let these Jamaicans and Caribbeans and these Africans and these Haitians come over to this country? It's just like, yo, we can't, hold on. Let me finish what you wrote first before I go crazy. At the international level, no, the international level doesn't really count because at the end of the day, nobody's not gonna fight for us, Kwame. That's why I said like, yo, you can't throw those type of invisible organizations in there. Nobody knows about those organizations, you know. Oh, I sent you all the documents. I was just the great black leaders in America has been tethers in. No, you know what? I told you what a tether is. A tether is a person that undermines black Americans' success and what they're progressing. So a tether is the same thing as saying a coon. I told you what a tether was. You might mean an immigrant. Like you could use the Stokely Carmichael, but y'all are just a percentage of how many people that helped that actually really came over here. Only like 1% of immigrants helped. Like, let's personally be honest. Only like 1% of immigrants helped the black cause. You know? Pan-Africans didn't help us. They was telling us to leave this country. Our country, Pan-Africanism was telling us to leave this country, Kwame. You know? Why would we want to leave this country when we already built it? It just doesn't make sense, man. What are you talking about? Y'all got a country. We don't have a country, Kwame. Our country is America. Y'all have y'all own country. Y'all are the majority of y'all country. We are not the majority in America. There's only 40, there's a little bit less than, 45 million black Americans in America. Like, we're the majority here. Y'all are the majority in y'all country and y'all left, Kwame. Then y'all come over here and tell us how beautiful your country is, and we're just saying like, okay, if your country's beautiful, why leave, man? Fix that country. That's y'all happiness. Let me tell y'all something. I always listen to Africans always talk about their beautiful country. Always saying that, oh yeah, man, in my country, like fruits growing up on the trees, it's so sunny. All of this, the people are so nice, but after that, I said, so why come over here? Fuck it, just fix the country and like, just try to fix it. Get these motherfuckers out your country, you're good. Oh, it's an economic reason. Money shouldn't. Let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna be personally honest. Money should not make you happy. If you're coming over here for money, you could be bought anywhere. You could be bought anywhere. FBAs ain't fighting for countries. Y'all satisfied with being an American citizen. Kwame, where are we gonna go? If we go to Africa, Africans don't like us. We go to the Caribbeans, they don't like us. Why the fuck would we want to leave and go to another country where we know? Why would we want to leave everything that we have here and built to go somewhere where Africans don't like us? Where Africans are scamming us? Where Africans will kidnap us just to get some money? It just doesn't make sense, Kwame. Your government is always in African politics. Well, that's your job to fight them. Africans should be fighting the army. I bet you all of us would say, yeah, we ain't fucking with that shit. If y'all really, let me tell y'all something. If Africans wasn't tribalistic, they would have way more than what they have now, because all they had to do was stick together. I'm just being personally honest. They would have had more than what they have now. They wouldn't be fleeing to come over here. It just, Kwame, you gotta look at it like this, man. When are y'all gonna take accountability of y'all country being fucked up? You let these people take advantage of your situation. We already said, we had the NAACP take advantage of us and had them be our leaders and fuck us over. I say that all the time. I said we should have never followed NAACP because they helped everybody except black people. They helped all the people that came over here. They helped the white woman. They helped the LGBTQIA. They helped everybody except black Americans. And black Americans was on the front line. Like, this is the whole reason of us not doing anything anymore, Kwame. This is the whole reason why we're not fighting for nobody no more. It just doesn't make sense, Kwame. You fight your oppressors. If you want to come over here and have a new oppressors, be my guest. But I'm not going over there just to have freaky ass fucking French colonizers. Because you know how they get down. Those French like to take the pussy. The Englishmen like to take the pussy. The Belgians, them Dutch, they like to take pussy. Why the fuck would I want to go over to Africa? Y'all don't even want to defend your own country. But, we go over there, we can help defend the country. So y'all can kick us out and send us back to America. As y'all always do. It's just... proud Americans then. Because you know why? Because without us, there wouldn't be America. Without us, there wouldn't be no pride or something to be proud of. It's always black Americans. These white people are figuring that shit out the hard way too. Don't worry, Kwame. White people are figuring it out the hard way too. Look at them bitch and moan all day online, Kwame. Like, this is what they do online, Kwame. Oh, black people are doing this. Black people are doing that. Black people, all of a sudden now we're fucking violent. After all the atrocities that y'all caused in the last 500 to 600 years, we're the most violent people. That shit don't make no sense, and it doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up. This is why I always tell people all the time, we gotta stop helping people, man. Because, Kwame, look what you wrote. Your government is always in African politics, and the Caribbeans. Why don't you get the motherfuckers out of there? Why come over here? Won't y'all protest that over here? Won't you protest get out of Africa? Get out of the Caribbean islands. Y'all protested of not leaving this racist country. As we all know, this country was built off of racism. So what? Yeah, it just Kwame. If I was y'all, I would want to go back to my country and help and build. Y'all built Liberia. That's not our country, Kwame. Liberia is not our country. That's y'all Pan African country, and all those people who left America and lives in Liberia for the last 80, 90 years. That's their country. It's not my country. Who is y'all? I never been to Liberia. My ancestors never been to Liberia. My grandmother never been to Liberia. You know? How about this, Kwame? All y'all Caribbeans go to Liberia and fix it. All y'all Caribbeans, all y'all Haitians, all y'all Afro Latinas, y'all can go to Liberia and build it and let it be a power structure. That's all you do. Y'all build that country and tell these Europeans that y'all cannot come in this country. Y'all can do that, and find y'all happiness and y'all peace there. But y'all ain't gonna find y'all peace in America. I'm gonna be personally honest. This shit like this is always gonna happen. People are always gonna turn on y'all in America. Black Americans have defended and always been on y'all side ever since y'all got here. Yeah, we made some fucking jokes because we joke about everything. But we can't anymore because it's invading our peace. It's invading our happiness. It's invading our own cause of even being in this country. America, also known as Congo people. That's cool and everything. I never been to Liberia. That doesn't mean anything to me, Kwame. All due respect to it. Hold on 1 second. Come on, reparation task force. Man, this dude's pissing me off. A joke to you is disrespect. By calling y'all dark, black, calling y'all jet black, we say that about ourselves. And this is why we put it this way. If you're gonna be offended of our culture, don't be in the culture. Don't be in black culture. That's why y'all got Pan-Africanism and stuff. Just say, yo, I don't fuck with black culture. I'm a Pan-Africanist. You can't be like, oh yeah, all our cultures is the same, because you could see it technically is not the same. Because let me tell you how we used to cope. While we were fighting for y'all to come to this country and being hung by trees, being burnt at barbecues, and people taking portrait pictures and stuff like that, we cope with joking. African booty scratcher. Hey, you gotta blame what's his name for that. That shit didn't come into the 90s. That everybody was getting called an African booty scratcher. I've been called an African booty scratcher hundreds of times. I never heard of no coconut. That shit's not my culture. That's your culture. That's what your culture say to each other. We don't call each other coconuts. That's your culture. And if technically that's white culture that called you that. Black people don't call people coconuts. And it might be like I said, it might be your culture that's saying that to you, who is cosplaying us. You just gotta look at what culture was saying that, Kwame. Because when we tell you what you're doing, this is why the delineation is so important. All these problems that y'all have, it's not from us. It's from your culture and other Caribbean cultures and other African and Latino cultures, man. And you blame us for it. I'm just being personally honest when it comes to stuff like that. It's just, I get it. Y'all Caribbean, y'all Caribbean coconuts. No, we never said that. We always loved Caribbean people. We always was embraced by Caribbean people. It's just when y'all got over here, y'all didn't really embrace us like that. Y'all was on some shit. Stay away from them Yankees. You know, they're uncivilized. Yeah, I know. You think I forgot what the shower posse said about black Americans? No, I know how they feel about black Americans. Not all of y'all, but at the end of the day, those people who was fucking around with the shower posse, those people who was, in line with them, this is what was going on in New York. So they try to bring that shit up to Boston. That shit, nah. That shit didn't work. You know? Y'all not the only black groups. I know that, Kwame, but at the end of the day, we can't defend everybody's trauma anymore. We can't do that no more. We can't bring all traumas together anymore. Look how y'all talk about our trauma. Y'all just pick cotton. Look at what this is what I'm talking about. You think we all just pick cotton? We built America. Everything that America had was contributed or invented by a black American. It is what it is. And this is why I say, you know what, we can't put everybody's trauma in together, Kwame, because at the end of the day, it confuses stuff. Look at the relationship what blacks and Caribbeans have now. It wasn't because of Tariq Nasheed. It was because this shit was long overdue of disrespect from Caribbeans. Black people always embraced dance hall music. We always embraced soca music. We always embraced reggae music. No, I was calling Yankee, and I'm not from New York. You know? No, it's disrespect, Kwame. You can't polish that. That's disrespect. Remember what you say. Your jokes is could be somebody else's disrespect. Yeah, you just said that, man. Like I get what you mean, Kwame, but at the end of the day, this conversation that we are having it was way long overdue. It's way long overdue. Black American has been getting disrespected by foreign people for years, Kwame, and you know that's true. Black people was on that we shall overcome shit. Kwame, let me tell you something. In the early 2000s, y'all cab drivers that were Caribbean, they would never stop for a black American. They would never stop for a black American. They'll drive off. Them Indian cab drivers too. Those Arab cab drivers too. Y'all stayed on the same code, Kwame. Yankee is a term for Americans, and it was first used in Boston. Actually, doesn't matter. It's still disrespectful. You know that. You mean that in a disrespectful way, Kwame. Yeah, yeah. In the civil, yeah, they were Yankee. Yeah, we know that, Kwame, but it's still disrespectful, Kwame. I'm telling you, it's disrespectful. You still try to polish the shit. No, I get what you mean, Kwame. I get it. It's just like, yo, back in the days, people's like, yo, let me get some Jimmy's on my ice cream. Not knowing that, that was a racial term for a black person in the South. Jimmy's. Yes. Why would African cab drivers stop for people that... But it's not us. That's your people robbing them. Look in Boston. It was your people that were robbing all those cab drivers. In New York, don't forget, y'all got a big population of Caribbean communities. Where you think they were going? They were going to those the Caribbean communities, Kwame. Like, yeah, we got a few, Kwame, but we don't got a lot like that, Kwame. It was never this bad. I'm just being personally honest because don't forget, Kwame, we all used to just stick together. It's just when your culture came over here, y'all didn't want to stick together. Y'all brought your culture over here. That's That was certain people hustle for. I know. I know. But I'm just explaining that most black people don't do shit like that. You know? Like, let me ask you a question, Kwame. In the 1930s, we were all, through the 1930s to the 1950s, New York used to stick together. But when the 60s, 70s, and the 80s came, this is when the division came. Who came in the 60s, 70s, and the 80s, Kwame? A whole bunch of not just Caribbean, the Asians, the Europes, everybody came and everybody brought their culture over. So if they came from a war-torn country, this is all they know, Kwame. They don't know about, oh yeah, yo, we can all stick together and actually do something. We could all build a community together and work. They wasn't thinking about Pan-Africanism. They were thinking about like, yo, how can I get my family up? Instead of like, damn, you know what? I'm stealing from another family just so my family can eat too. Instead of like, damn, you know what? If I'm stealing a pie, this family could get half the pie. Just to say, oh, yo, thanks for watching out for me, looking out for me. You know, other people were watching other people's kids and shit. And like, you know, a community was actually raising kids. You know, it's just we can't do that shit no more because, like I said, people bring over their war-torn situations over here. Yeah. It always has been like that. It was never like, oh, yeah, you know, these people just came and just beat us up. It happens rarely, but it happened. I'm not going to say it didn't happen, but it really happened. You know, and this is why I say, yo, y'all got to find y'all happiness. If your happiness is in your country, you shouldn't be worrying about no money. You'll figure out a way to make it. Fish. You know, the money that you have now, bring that back over to your country. Yo, start a business. Get them Indians and all those other people out that country. With the people that y'all have over in this country now, y'all can put y'all money in them together right now and go back to that country and build. If y'all all put y'all money together, but y'all not gonna do that. You know, Africans came to New York to build. No, they didn't. We watch videos all the time. They just say they just came for the resources. That's it, and it's cool. You know, they came for the resources and laugh about it. Yeah. Don't blame Nigerians telling warning their kids about us. We caused that for robbing. Who's us? Who's us? Who's we? We don't do that. Let me ask you a question, Kwame. In Shotters, what was the first scene of that movie? What did that man do in Shotters? What happened in that movie, Shotters? Because we're going to talk about robbery. What did those two little boys do in that movie? One went to Miami. No, that's Africans. No, Africans already came over here with that mindset, Kwame. You can't give them a pass, Kwame. You know what? You know how I dislike hypotheticals, but let's do this hypotheticals. Let's say some of us did rob them. What do they do in their own country? I'm not taking blame for no shit that we don't really do like that, Kwame. You know? It's just like, I understand, like, yeah, some people like, yo, I'm going to get it how I live it. This dude is actually robbing them. But at the end of the day, the community will denounce them. When I was growing up, you do some bullshit like that, my projects will denounce you. And my projects is probably one of the oldest projects in Massachusetts. It was probably one of the dangerous projects in the 90s. But at the end of the day, you don't do bullshit like that, robbing cab drivers and shit like that. Motherfuckers will look down on you. You know, it's worse than being a fucking politician. Because politicians, one thing people don't like, thieves and liars. You can rob the drug dealer, because at the end of the day, you know he's going to come back for you and he knows how to defend himself. But just a regular person who's trying to work, no, we don't do shit like that. This is why we say we always protect the community. This is why we always call, hey, auntie, hey, uncle, you need anything? You good? Need help with your groceries? I'll help you put it on the elevator for you, auntie. You know, it always been like that. I turned into blackface redneck. No, it's just like, yo, we just doing our own thing, Kwame. And, like, you should be happy. Like, yo, you should be like, damn, I'm proud of black people actually doing their own thing. They're actually getting this shit started. Hold on 1 second. Because I might have to go to Boston on the 16th. They're so disorganized. But yeah, it's just Brooklyn and Bronx is different. I know that. It's just Kwame. That's a cultural thing. We don't we that shit rarely happened in the 50s and 60s. You know? We rob people who have money. You're not gonna rob no poor person that's trying to do something. You know? This the white man's country. Why y'all worry about what we doing? That's not the question, Kwame. You know what the question was? What is the key of happiness? If you're happy in your country, if you're happy in Africa, why don't you just go to that country and fix it? That's your peace. That's like saying, like, damn, I'm about to go lay down in bed, but you know what? I'm not going to my bed. I'm going to go, I'm going to go sleep in my car. But you got a king size bed so comfortable, you won't even hear a penny drop on it. But you want to sleep in the fucking car. Just because, it's mobile. That's the type of thing I'm getting with. Like, we always talk about, delineation and stuff like that. We are actually doing this for our happiness. We are doing this for our purpose. There's a purpose of us doing this, Kwame. Like, real talk, there's a purpose of us doing stuff like this. The purpose is like, yo, you know what? We gotta help our people. Because we gotta understand, Kwame. We got beat the fuck out of here, out of this country, trying to help y'all people come over here, and y'all wasn't on our side. Like, y'all wasn't on our side, and we said this dozens of times. Like, yo, y'all gonna need us help. Y'all gotta stop doing that. And know what y'all say? Yo, we gotta get our own. You gotta stop being lazy and do it yourself. Stop looking for a handout. Fight. Now we're fighting. We're not looking for no handout. We just want our debt that is owed to us. What is wrong with us fighting for a debt that is owed to us? And that's our happiness. Is like, yo, getting what we were supposed to be for our ancestors. That would have gave us 3 times more than what we have now. That would have gave us communities. And like, it's so worry about what job we have. No, we don't care how you live, Kwame. We're just saying, the question is, what is the key to happiness? If the key to happiness is going to your country, going to Africa, you should do that and build up Africa. Y'all gotta understand, there's only like 5 million Caribbeans here in America. Probably a little bit more because y'all are undocumented. Most of y'all are undocumented. This is why a lot of people are getting sent back. But or your joint ran out. We fought for y'all for 100 years. Like I said, Kwame, that's only 1% of Caribbean people, Kwame. And Marcus Garvey tried to make us go to fucking Africa. Why would we want to go to Africa? He didn't even die in Africa. He died in UK. He has never went to Africa. Stokely Carmichael left helping black Americans and went to Pan African. It's just, like I said, Kwame, it just doesn't make sense anymore to help. We've been in America since the 1800s. Who? I don't think so, Kwame. You would have had an ethnogenesis. Like, this is what we talk about, ethnogenesis. You know, and like I said, for those years, y'all been breeding. Y'all been breeding with black people. There wasn't that many of y'all. Like, don't get me wrong. I told you, I give credit to certain immigrants that did help. That did help the cause. Like I said, Malcolm X is half, they say half Jamaican or some shit like that. But his father is his father is a Southerner who was a sharecropper. Nah, I don't think so. Kwame, there wasn't a lot of y'all. Even if y'all was here in the 1800s, y'all would have been lost that tradition. I'm just being personally honest. Black Americans everything has been taken from us. So you think, oh well, they're from Haiti and Jamaica. We're gonna let them have their culture and their lineage. No, they're gonna take that shit too. Then you're fucking around with black Americans and natives. They cleaned up, Kwame. They didn't really put in a lot of work. Yes, I know. But he was a scammer too. That's why he ran from Haiti. Jean, was it Baptista or something like that? Or Pierre? Yeah, he ran from Haiti because he was scamming. Yeah. That's the history that we never talk about. You know, it is what it is. He was scamming in Haiti, he ran. Kwame, there's this guy named Voice of the Ancestors. He got mad at me because I told him Creole, because you're going to use this and it's going to debunk your answer. I don't think you should use Louisiana. Yes, it was a French territory, but there's nothing really French about it. Like those lineage that they have in them, that was sprinkled in them, the little bit of French, none of them motherfuckers speak French. There's a different culture in Louisiana. Creole is Creole can be anything. There's Haitian Creole, there's English Creole, there's Portuguese Creole, there's Cape Verdean Creole, Spanish Creole. Kwame, we can't use that because at the end of the day, French people didn't really help Louisiana. They had to get the fuck out of there because they were getting killed. They couldn't win the war. Those black natives was fucking killing them. So that's why they sold it to America. Then when they came over here, when they sent the Haitians over here, the war was already over. They were just cleaning up. You know, there is no French. Who speaks French in New Orleans, Kwame? We got to be personally honest. There's nobody that speaks French in Creole. Yes, there's a lot of Creoles over there, but Creole means just broken. It doesn't really have, like I always tell people all the time, there's nothing really French about Louisiana. It's mostly Creole. Creole could be anything. You know? I personally just think it's just a mix type of black people. Like Haitians got Creole over there, but it's different from American Creole, right? Yeah, I said that. No, it wasn't the Haitian War. No, come on, Kwame. We was already packing them out, man. You know, and don't forget, I'm gonna say this: Creole's not French. You know that's not French, right? Creole, because there's a Cape Verdean Creole, and they speak Portuguese. Yeah, look up Cape Verde and see what they speak. Those are Portuguese and Africans. Yeah, they're Portuguese and Africans over there. Like Fastantu and Kuze, that's Cape Verdean Creole. And Haitian Creole, Sapase, and stuff like that. It's different. It's just a form of language. But it's not French. I don't think French got nothing to do with it. You know. What do you talk about? Florida with Civil War? Are you serious? They would have never won the Civil War without black people. It's just it is what it is. You know, we were already doing guerrilla warfare. Y'all had a treaty. Y'all did, and guess what? The Haitians. Let me tell you about the Haitians. The Haitians had a treaty, but it's just they had to pay. They paid French reparations until the 1946. That's when it stopped. They had to wait 200 years. Yeah, Kwame. That's nothing really to be proud of, because now we gotta say this. What have they done after that? After they got their independence, what have they done? You know? No, we wasn't. Some were, some wasn't. Yeah, some was, some wasn't. You know? But let me ask you a question, Kwame. After the Haitians and Jamaicans got their independence, what did they do after that? Okay, but what did they do after they got their independence? Did they do anything else? Or was that it? Because they wasn't trying to go back to war again. That's why they made that treaty. This is why I say, yo, I don't think y'all are happy in y'all country. Your happiness is not in that country. It's just I don't think it has been. I think this is why y'all over here and y'all talk. Oh, yo, my country's so beautiful. This is what happens in my country, and that doesn't make you happy. You know. You know what? Let me tell you something. Yo, the most happiest person I ever met in my life was my great granddaddy. That motherfucker was born in 1892. Went through fucking post slavery. I think was it post slavery he went through. He went through redlining. He went through Jim Crow. He went through the crack epidemic. What made him happy that he lived on a farm. He grew vegetables and he smoked his little bit of weed and drank his gin. He had mad kids. My grandfather had like 14 kids that we knew about. It's just that was his happiness. That's why he was so happy. He was so mean because he didn't fuck around with white people like that because he'll shoot one of them. It's just his happiness was just staying away from him, having his own farm and stuff like that. And be a young boy and it's there while we speak. What, in Africa? Let them stay in Africa. That's their happiness, you know? Like I said, that's not everybody's happiness, is going to Africa. Why do I need to go to Africa if Kwame, this is what is like. This is why I say black Americans is so different from the whole black diaspora. Um Yeah, that's cool and everything. But won't you go to Jamaica? I'm not going to Jamaica. Cause Drake is there don't mean I'm gonna go. Drake sucks now. He's a pop star. The fuck? He just needs to stay away from them little fucking kids, man. Cause that shit is getting out of control now. Yeah, man. There's people like that, man. He like them young, man. He probably slipped up like, oh, yo, she's 17. Damn, I could wait like 6 months. Yeah, that's how. Yo, let me tell you something. I'm gonna be personally honest with you. Back in the days, that's what old school motherfuckers used to do. Yo, I can't wait till she turned 18. Nigga, you just praying on a fucking little girl, bro. That's what them slick motherfuckers do. You know? And in Massachusetts, it's crazy because the consent law is 16 in Massachusetts. Y'all can stay in America and lose forever. We're not losing. That's the thing. This is what we're just figuring out. And I've been telling people for years. I mean, I think for almost 15 years, I've been telling people, ever since I can vote, I tell people all the time, yo, we have the power. The only thing we need to do is stick together. We don't need no outside confusion. If we can do that, we'll be fine. But, we got the Candace Owens. She's Caribbean, yeah. The Aaron with Aaron Donalds, he's a Panamanian and Jamaican. It's y'all gotta. This is what I've been told y'all for years. I told Africans, Caribbeans, this y'all need to police y'all people. These people make you look crazy out here. Cause Kwame, if I was a dickhead, I'll be like, yo, see, all your peoples is like Aaron Donalds. You know, America is currently $20 down. The GDP is 27. Y'all kids will be paying 68% in taxes. That's cool. This is why we're starting this generational wealth now, Kwame. We're starting this generational wealth. Hey, let me ask you a question. You think they're gonna let all these black people leave and go to Africa? Fuck no. They're not gonna let us all go to Africa. Yo, we bring in $3 trillion a year. And that's what they know about. Don't forget all the shit that's under the table and stuff. Come on. That's what they know about. They only know about, what was it, 2.5, 3 trillion? It's more than that. America is always in debt. They're always in debt. That ain't nothing new. I don't think he can either, Kwame, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna leave my country. Like, why would I do that? And it can't be half bad if all y'all coming over here from these countries. You know? Why would I go to Africa and all the Africans is coming to America? It just doesn't make sense. I think that's why I say that's kind of disingenuous you say that because um cuz all of y'all come over here. But let me ask you a question, Kwame. What is your happiness? And I'm gonna email you back later on today too, just to chat and stuff. I'll be at work, but I want to know what your happiness is, my man. Because you know what, Liberia, that could be Y'all could put the Pan African flag on Liberia. Y'all could own Liberia right now. Liberia's in trouble. All y'all Pan Africans can go to Liberia. Y'all can build. Y'all got the education over there. When a country's debt is higher than the yearly GDP, you can't recover. It's all right. It's all right. You know, but Kwame, you didn't answer my question. What is your happiness? We hear all the problems and stuff, but what is your happiness? That's what I want to talk about. And the reason why I want to talk about it because at the end of the day, America is a bad country to you. Yes, I understand that, but what makes you happy? What is your key to happiness? My happiness will be going back to Africa after I drain all the money I can out of. But you know what? But you come on, Kwame. So you're gonna waste all this. You wasting passionate time to make all the money you can to go live in Africa. Won't you go to Africa and help Africa? All that time you're wasting, you could have been helping Africa. Like this is what I'm saying. This is why I told you last time. Abraham, he's not gonna win that war against these Europeans. First of all, Africans is not known for sticking together. Africa's never been known to stick together. You know, and guess what? And that's what we're fighting for. This is why we have this show, Kwame. This is why we have this show. This is why I listen to everything that y'all say. It's funny too because I was talking to my auntie about my show. I explained to her that why do I do this show? I told her I do this show to listen to other people's point of views, even though I don't agree with them. If I can give them a platform to, talk about what they want to talk about, absolutely, let them do it. That's why I always tell y'all to comment too, right? Yo, when this show's over, drain the comments, flood the comments. I read them. I read them because I put a like on it. It could be some crazy shit. One white boy called me a jigaboo. I put a like on it just so he knows that I read it. I do take my time to go through all of this. Like I really do, man. Like I always tell y'all, I appreciate all of y'all. If I didn't, I wouldn't be consistent as I am with this show. Let me tell y'all something. How many shows I do a week? I do 6 shows. I do two, four, two, two, 5, 6. I do like around 6 shows a week. That's a lot. And sometimes I do back to back shows. I do a lot of shows, everyone. Then I gotta go get my kids and like, yo, I'm a father, man. I do mad shit, man. I be tired, but I sleep when I die. I always tell people that. I just worry about my health. As long as my health ain't deteriorating and stuff like that, and I can still focus, then I'm fine, man. But I do worry about y'all with the things we do talk about. This is why I wanted to change it up a little bit. Happiness. Kwame, best advice is that you got enough money to start something in Africa. You could start little by little. But you can't just, I'm gonna try to drain as much as I can out of America to throw into Africa. And you could be building little by little. Once you get to Africa, you don't even have to wait until you're like 40. You could wait for 5. You could be Kwame. You could be making a 5-year plan right now. 5-year plan of how you gonna get to Africa and what you're gonna do for Africa. How you gonna bring people together. One book I want you to read, Kwame. This book right here. I know you don't like Claude Anderson, but this book right here is a super dope book. Black Labor to White Wealth. It shows you how to get on top from media. So there's like a table to it. So and this is what I did. Let me see if I can find that table. It's a super dope book, man. I know you don't like Claude Anderson. If I find that table, I'll send it to you, Kwame. Because Claude Anderson has done it. That's why he has been so successful. And if you're gonna go to Africa, I would want you to have that mindset of like, okay, if we're gonna build Africa and I got certain resources that I can help them, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what we're gonna control in this country. And they can only talk through us when we get to this country. When I figure out what page that is, yeah, there's like a triangle. Fuck, I forgot what it's called. There's this thing that would help Africa. But the thing about it, you're gonna have to bring Africans together. I'm talking about stop that tribalism in that country, and it's gonna be harder than over here because you're gonna have to figure out how to maneuver through that country. Because you gotta figure out you never have the real Black American scholars with education beyond their names. Um, Probably. Let me tell you what I think it is when you change your name. Just a different form of yourself. It could be a spiritual, mental, social, physical. It could be a lot of things, but it's just a different form of yourself. You're still Kwame. It's just a different form of Kwame that people aren't used to seeing. A better Kwame, you know? Maybe a renegade Kwame, an outlaw Kwame. We don't know, But never think of it as oh yeah, they changed it for religious reasons. Like King Solomon, he changed his name to Jebediah because he found a different he was at a different place in his life where he was a different person. I know you don't like the Bible, Kwame, but this is just a different form of King Solomon. He was a wise man. Yeah, he fucked up with the women still, but at the end of the day, you could see the difference between King Solomon and King Jebediah. So it's hold on. I give props to the Black American scholars. There was the one on the front line stopping tribalism. I pay homage to the Black American scholars. But we talk about that a lot, Kwame. Let me tell you something. No, Christianity was the cause of slavery. It wasn't the Bible. It was Christianity. Christianity doesn't follow the whole Bible. You know, this is why I always tell you, Kwame. It's dangerous to have other people tell other people's history. This is why Black Americans get mad when people make these slave movies and there's no black people who directed or created the movie. You know, this is why that Nigerian girl, she got a bad backlash for playing Harriet Tubman, or the Nigerian guy um who played Martin Luther King. He had a backlash, and it wasn't their well, it was the girl's fault, yeah, because she said some racist shit about Black Americans, but it was Jews who started the curse on him. You sure it wasn't God? You know him are Africans, right? They're like East Africans. That's all it is. You got Kemet, you got him, you got Jafar. There's a few of them, Kwame. They're all nationalities. They're all ethnicities. That's why they say it's a bloodline. You know, probably I didn't go back that far. Further the curse of him and enslaved us for being black and African. Him were Africans. Hims were Africans. Yeah. Yeah, hims were Africans, Kwame. But the thing about it, Kwame, it wasn't about being African. African is just a made up word that a white man gave us. All jokes aside, like I'm not saying don't claim it. It's just if we're gonna say everything else is made up, the word African is made up too. You know. So the real word, the real name before we started calling ourselves Africans, it was Elkabellian. We used to call ourselves Elkabellians. It was a name for that was the name for the indigenous blacks. I mean Africans. But the Greeks named us Africans because it means was it sunny and related terms of aphopecia meanings, free from cold and horror. And also Alkabelian means the Garden of Eden. Yeah. This is why I always tell you some of those spots you said like Israel and stuff, I think that was a part of Africa. Cause there was black people coming out of Israel. Well, Jerusalem at the time. You know, that's why a lot of Africans is always saying like, "Yo, those people left black and came back white." You know, because their lineage was stolen out of Africa. Yeah, yeah, those were Christians. That wasn't the Bible, Kwame. If I have the Bible and stuff, I can make anything sounds great. Like I was telling my grandmother said, "Oh yeah, God loves everybody." No, I had to tell my grandmother, "No, God doesn't love everybody." You know, God is a man of peace. No, God is a man of war. God was always the man of war. Yeah, but that's what Africa was called at the time. It was called the Garden of Eden. It is Arabic, but this is what Africans was calling it. You know, are you gonna call it that, or are you gonna keep it the white man's name, Africa? And you're missing the L. Yeah, it's just you want to keep on calling it Africa, or the white man's word, or because it is Greek and Latin, or are we gonna be, all right? I'm just saying it's a white man's word. It's a white man's word, Kwame, and
African is an African word. It comes from the Afri people. They're known
yeah,
in places like Niger, Mali, and Senegal.
yeah, yeah. You're West African, yeah. You think it's an African word because it comes out of the West African, yeah, Africa. But it was a. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna pimp you to something right there. I'll just do this one thing for you and I go back into what we were talking about. Nah.
Africa was not originally called Africa.
Right back, all right?
Africa was not originally called Africa. We had a completely different name. Wow. I'm going to tell you what Africa was called, why the name changed, and who changed it. Pay attention. The landmass we now know as Africa was home to many peoples over the centuries. Moors, Numidians, Nubians, Carthaginians, and Ethiopians. The name Africa was created by Europeans, and the Romans popularized it in the West as part of their conquest of the region, specifically the northern parts of the continent. The word Africa was Greek and Latin origin. Africa in Latin means sunny, and Phrike in Greek means the spirit of horror. The land was known by many names such as Ortygia, Kofi, Libya, and Ethiopia. But what was the original name of Africa? The indigenous name. It was Alkebulan, which translates to the Garden of Eden and Mother of Mankind. Now, some would like to argue that Alkebulan is an Arabic name, but the truth is it just sounds Arabic because of the al and is not Arabic in origin. As we build a better awareness of our identity, now you know what the continent was originally called.
This is coming from an African, Kwame. That's coming from an African. The guy said it sounds Arabic, but it's African. Your country's called the mother of mankind. It can never be better than that. The mother of mankind. The Garden of Eden. Garden of Eden is the first thing that everybody thinks about, Kwame. You know, this is just history, Kwame. We can't hate history. That's what that is, man. You know? Like, if you want to keep the white man's name, we could keep it, you know? It's just I ain't gonna be calling myself no fucking African now. I'm not calling myself. I'd rather call myself an Algabian American. But what he said, Albanian or something like that? Albelkian? Yeah, it's just I'd rather call myself an Albelkian American than call myself African. Calling ourselves two white people's names. Yeah, let's get back into what we was talking about. That was fun, actually, Kwame. Thank you, man. That was fun. What we were doing and stuff. Even though if it came off a little bit trollish, it's good education, man. We can even do a topic question on that next time. We can do one tomorrow. You want to do it? You want to do one tomorrow? We can if you like. You know, but I want to focus on this one first. The key of happiness. You know. But yo, Kwame, I don't know what. I'm gonna support you if you want to go to Africa. Definitely go, man. Like I just say this: don't waste your time trying to save up money here. You should be the money that you have now. You could put it this way: you just got to figure out what you want to do in Africa. You got to make a game plan. If you got that game plan, yo, you got to start doing little by little right now. So when you get to Africa, you're already good. You're gonna have to make a few trips to Africa. Say like, okay, I want my land to be here. This is what I'm gonna build here. Like you could be building a fucking community. Like shit is low right now in Africa. So you could be like, yo, you do this, yo, you build this shit over here, man. I'll pay you this, I'll pay you that. then you're gonna have to find somebody you trust in Africa. Because if not, motherfucker's gonna scam you. I'm saving to return as well. See, Isaiah, right there. As you and Kwame could put y'all money together, and y'all could go to Africa, Isaiah. You know, build a community in Africa or something where it can be a successful community, and y'all could teach these Africans. Y'all gonna have to, because at the end of the day, it ain't shit gonna happen in Africa with them there, because they're too tribalistic. They're not with. They're not for one. They're for themselves. And like I had to explain that to a coworker. I was like, "Yo, y'all Nigerians will never. Y'all not gonna succeed as farther as y'all should be, because at the end of the day, y'all not together. Like, you don't fuck with a person because they're from a different tribe than you. You know, and we could talk about all the African pride and all this other shit, but pride is a sin. This is why it's a sin. This is why it's a sin. All the shit that's happening now in Africa is because, like, yo, y'all was sinning. Too much pride. Then the people who aren't prideful, they's like, yo, fuck them. I'm out of this country. I'm going to America or England. Fuck them. These prideful motherfuckers is let them die by themselves. Instead of like, yo, let's all come together. What's going on, Randall? What's going on, Isaiah? You know, yeah, man, we talk about the key of happiness, man. You know, definitely. I was telling Kwame that, cause he talks about he wants to go to Africa. That's gonna make him happy. I told him like, yo, you're gonna have to build a community. You're gonna have to find somebody you're gonna have to trust, because you gotta understand that not everybody's a Pan-African. People are Igbos and all this other shit. Yorubas and Ashantis and shit. And was it Meldingos and shit. It's just, they're not together. Them motherfuckers, they don't fight together. They fight against each other. Sometimes it might get crazy where a motherfucker try to genocide a whole tribe. You know? That's how certain shit is, man. You know? Let me tell you something, Kwame. You're like the dopest Pan-African I know right now. What you should be doing right now is trying to bring those motherfuckers together right now. And tell them, like, you can show your culture, your Igbo culture and all that other shit, but y'all gonna have to stick together if y'all want this country to be great. If you really wanna, you know, fly your tribe's flags. But that at the end of the day, this is where it depends on y'all. You're going to that country, because I feel like this. If you feel like you're not going to succeed, don't go to that country. Don't go to the country. Just stay here. You know, it's just, you're going to have to solve that. You know how many Nigerians I told y'all, y'all gotta get rid of that fucking tribalistic shit that y'all have in that country. I was like, y'all country can thrive. But the thing about them too also is that, and it's sad to say this, it's just, oh man, when they get blessed, like when they get a blessing, like they got an education, they're a doctor and all this and that, they don't teach their own people about all the shit that they learned. This is where the tribalistic shit comes in. And this is where it hurts the community and it hurts their country. Because they'll just stay in this country and get them a white woman. And that's it. You know, I'm just being personally honest. Don't go back to their country and get themselves a tribal wife. They don't do none of that shit. They don't do none of that shit. That's all old. That's that old tradition. The new tradition is like, yo, go to college, get me a white woman, have me some mixed kids, and yo, have my kids be American. Yeah, I know. They still owe us in that. They're in debt with us. Randall's funny. Yeah, that's what Africans do. Africans and Caribbeans. Yeah, they go get themselves a white woman, man. White women out here killing them, killing everybody. You didn't just see that lady that she got off for shooting her baby father in the face? Yeah, motherfucker got on a cowboy hat, talk about I'll die for a white woman. He wrote on, yo, this motherfucker went online and said, I will die for a white woman. And that nigga really ended up dying. That nigga ended up really dying. That was his happiness. That was his happiness to have a white woman. So, brother, what's the plan for Black America? How do you... Yo, man, it's going slowly but surely, but at the end of the day, that's not stopping us from, like, you know, working, putting our money together and stuff, and starting. So look at me. I have to go on Monday. I have to go to what is it called? I have to go to a city hall meeting on Monday. It's so fucking disorganized. I'm not gonna lie. Like I put it this way. I don't think it's disorganized. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I gotta figure it out. I gotta adapt. And like this is the first city hall meeting I'm going to, so give me a second. Speaking of city hall, I gotta everybody give me like 3 or 4 minutes. I mean give me like 40 seconds. I gotta write Khalid. All right, I'm done. Nah, I just asked him, do he need me to be there? Economically, that makes no sense. No, it does. Cause if I'm doing this, we got other people doing that. But at the end of the day, when we were thinking people were actually helping us, and this is where I feel like the delineation is happening. Cause y'all gotta understand, I'm gonna be talking to the congresswoman and a few congress people, and I have to ask them questions. It's like, yo, like I really gotta be tough with these people, you know. So at the end of the day, I gotta ask them, what are y'all doing for our people? I gotta see what's happening. Then after that, if I have to be the only one that speaks up and say like, yo, you're not really doing anything for our people. I was like, I feel like we might have to talk to somebody else if I feel like we can't get no policy or no tangibles. You know? ADOS wants 20 trillion cash. Yeah, well, we don't want to hear the crying. Let me tell you why. Because when the money was good, it was good. Let me tell y'all something. In Boston, black people used to... The old school black people used to be like, oh, yo, we need this fix. We need that fix. And you know what they used to say to us? We don't have any money right now. But they'll build all this other crazy shit and be like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And this is when I was younger. And I was telling my mother for years, Ma, these people got money. Oh, they don't got no money. They don't got no money. I went to school. I went to college. I got a bachelor and a master's degree. I was like, Ma, these people have money. I was like, they're just not telling us that they have money. Nah. They don't need to lie. They don't need, Ma, they're politicians. They're gonna lie. I'm telling you. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. My mom used to, belittle me, fight for these white folks and these cosplaying black people and stuff like that. Talk about we do this, we do nigga. We have this girl Tatiana Fernandez. She's Cape Verdean. The bitch is in jail right now. The bitch is in jail right now for stealing money. Her family was helping her steal too. Or her whole campaign leaders, the people who work for her were her family members. She talk about, why can't y'all respect black women? And your name is fucking Tiana Fernandez. Bitch, you about to go to jail. She got caught stealing money. So we're going to say, oh, is that black America? No, it's just like Kwame, like I said, we got to, this is how we need to start first. And I'm going to be personally honest. We need to own the media companies first. We need to start many media companies. This is why, when sponsors happen, like, oh, well, you know what? I will sign this, but it has to be under these types of rules. We have to run our own world. We can't have these other people running our own world. This is what I want to do with my money. And you actually have to fall through with it. We're going to get the resources. Hold on a second. Why would they help black Americans before Jews? When black Americans are stateless with no resources. What you mean stateless? I don't get what you mean stateless. Most of us is down south. We're in Atlanta, Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas. We're down south. Like, yes, we're up here, but we're mostly down south. But what's the plan? At the end of the day, we're forcing their hands right now. Isaiah, let me tell you what we're doing. We're taking it to them, and the thing about it is because they're starting to know that we have power. The Republicans, sooner or later, are going to understand, like, we can't keep on undermining these people. We can't have these buffer classes like Jason Whitlock and all these other people try to tell us, we need to do this, we need to do that. Those aren't the gatekeepers. The thing about it, you got to look at it. Who are the gatekeepers of media? They try to make Jason Whitlock a gatekeeper for black people. Jason Wood, and we had to say, we had to cut that shit, We shut that shit down and say, he doesn't talk for black people. They had Anton Daniels try to talk for us. We shut that shit down. Like, at one time, we did have Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar spitting that game. He talking that black media shit, But at the end of the day, we got to look at it. Dr. Umar just trying to get any dollar right now. Dr. Umar's looking bad right now. This is why a lot of people left Pan-Africanism was because of him. Hold on a second. I'll see you later. But it's just, this is where I feel like, the Pan-African, only people who you got right now in the Pan-African community that's actually really doing something is Professor Smalls. Most people don't know about him, but he's legit. No, we always fight. We will. Kwame, let me tell you something. Right now isn't the best time to attack. This is not the best time to attack. Look at what's happened in California. Look what's happening in Miami. These motherfuckers is dumbing out because they about to leave the country. They're gonna leave the country, and sooner or later, James Small have all business and Yeah, I know. But he does a lot for the black community too. He has a lot of wisdom. He don't keep that wisdom. He shares that wisdom with everybody. And this is why I told you. Hold on one second. This is Black America's country. Kwame. Yeah, I told you. It's just, yo, Kwame, you gotta understand this. Professor Smalls, yo, he does a lot for the black community. He gives us a lot of information. He respects foundational black Americans and what we are doing. You know, so it's just like I said, man, y'all gotta put it this way, Kwame. If Pan-Africans get their shit together, we'll definitely help Pan-Africanism. It's just y'all don't got y'all shit together. Y'all can't even control y'all own people, man. There's too much shit going on in Pan-Africanism right now. We don't know who is on what side, what is on whose side, who's giving us knowledge. Yo, we don't know anymore, Kwame, with the Pan-Africanism. It's looking crazy and it's looking shaky. You know? Kwame, he didn't even say that. What are you talking? Kwame, you losing me right now. I don't know what you're talking about. Pan-Africans don't really support black. They don't. It's just they just want us to go back to Africa. They want us to support Africa after all the shit we have done for Africa. After all the sacrifices we have done for Africa, Kwame. You know, and them Africans don't like us. They always got some crazy shit to say about us. I deal with this shit on a daily basis. How are you gonna change the white man? You're not gonna change them. Only thing what we can do right now is to prepare to have these people who represent us have these different type of jobs. We need people, yo. We need more black police officers. We need more black politicians, like black American politicians. We need more hold on. Who hates y'all more than white people or Africans? It doesn't matter. They hate us the same when they come to this country. They got the same talking points about us. So this is what I mean, Kwame. Even with the Jewish people, this is why I consider them white. Jewish people, that's just a religion. It's a religion. Only thing I'm saying that they're white. They still, let me tell you something. They will turn on us too. They will. What's the word? Give me a second. Give me like 10 seconds. They will ally with white America before they turn on us. I mean, before they even help us. You know? But Kwame, you gotta look at it. We're the minority. And all y'all people in those different diasporas are the majority. But y'all still don't got more than black America. That's crazy. What is that telling you? Y'all don't have more than black Americans. There's not a black successful country more than America. No, they, Kwame. Come on, let's be personally honest. They don't, Kwame. Those are all white supremacy talking points, Kwame. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. This is why I say, Kwame, get Pan-Africanism together. Yo, we could be fighting for each other's policies and terms and stuff like that. If you want to go to Africa, we'll help you go to Africa. But at the end of the day, y'all gotta be on the same, y'all gotta be on the same shit that we're on. We don't want to hear African Union is representing reparation. No, we want to hear, what the Jamaicans, the Nigerians, the Haitians representing reparations for black Americans. We don't want to hear that an African Union is representing us. We want to hear Africans is representing us. We want to hear Caribbeans is representing us. Even the Latinos is representing us to getting reparations. Because this is what I always tell people all the time. If we get it, you don't think your country's gonna go crazy, Kwame, talking about, yo, we need our reparations soon. You don't think black Americans ain't gonna help y'all? It's just right now we need to worry about ourselves before we worry about y'all, because every time we help y'all out and y'all get what y'all need, y'all turn on us. It's been like that for years. They have more because we don't have land. No, they don't have nothing. They don't have more than us. Are you crazy, Isaiah? What do they have more of in their country than here? We got more businesses. We got more successful people. We got more entertainment, more athletics, more education. Like, come on, we can't do that, Isaiah. That's crazy. That's wild. I'm gonna be personally honest. That's wild. Like, I understand. Like, yo, if you're happy going to Africa, be my guest. I want you to be happy. But your happiness can't, collide with my happiness. You know? Name what is the foundation of economics? Are you serious? We got tow truck drivers. We got, the truck drivers. We got entertainment, of course, athletics. We got black people actually owning companies now. We got black people actually owning sports teams now. Yeah. We got black people getting schools, creating certain types of educations. Yes, we're doing that. We're doing all of that, man. It's just you don't know about it. They're not going to talk good about us when we do it. Absolutely not. If you don't have land, you don't. But y'all have land and don't have nothing still. Africa has nothing. I'm just being personally honest. South Africa, they're the minority. I mean, they're the majority, but the minority is fucking them up in their own country. Why you think only 50 people left South Africa? I'm just being personally honest. Then they called it a fucking genocide. That was a kick in the nuts right there. What, a genocide? Who got killed? We didn't hear about anybody getting killed. We just going on these people's mouths. This is why I say, yo, Trump, he don't know what the fuck he's doing. It doesn't affect us. He's looking crazy out here. I'm FBA. My forefathers fought in the Civil War 92. Yes. But what you're doing right now, you're talking about, oh yeah, I want to go to Africa. So that means you're going to erase everything that your forefathers did for America just to move to a country where people don't like you in the first place. It just doesn't make sense. This is why I say I would never move to another country, because my forefathers did so much for me and my lineage before me to make this, make my life a little bit more easier. It's cool, but majority of FBA's codes, it's not. It's just, we're not a cult. It's just like Kwame, I already told you, I already explained it. It's just, we have to fight for ourselves right now. We already can tell that, like, yo, y'all are not going to be on our sides. Just look how you talk. You told us we're begging. And we're fighting. It's just, like, that's why I say, was it begging when we were fighting for y'all to come to this country? Was it begging when we were saying y'all should have the same resources as us, even though it was going to hurt us? Was it begging when, they were fighting for y'all to get deported, and this was the first time, and we say, nah, you can't deport them, those are our brothers, and they were calling y'all savages, and was it jungle monkeys and all this other stuff? No, we fought for you, Kwame. It's just you can't use those type of talking points towards us, then think that we're going to be civil about it. That's not a civil conversation, Kwame. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just like, we confused our happiness to help y'all out. Come to this country to get equal rights because they wasn't trying to give y'all no type of resources here. No type of resources. We fought for everything. The Latinos too. We fought for the Latinos too to come to this country. You see how that turned out. You know, it just is. FBI is a cult. You have to be pro-American, anti. We're not anti-immigration. That's the only thing. We're not. FBA is not anti-immigration. But at the end of the day, we're not gonna just have people do crime and say like, "Oh yeah, it was a black man that did it." Like, we can't keep on doing that. And y'all got to stop blaming Tariq Nasheed for that shit. This shit has been long overdue. It's just he had the balls to say it out loud, you know? He said, why do y'all talk about us like that after we do so much for him? Tariq Nasheed's doing documentaries about y'all, saying how great y'all country is, how prideful y'all are. The type of great history that y'all have, and y'all just turned on this motherfucker like this? Because he say, why are you disrespecting black people when your country's fucked up right now? He said your country's fucked up right now. He did not say y'all didn't have good history. And that's the sad part about it. Like, he always talked great about y'all countries. But now when he said, you shouldn't be talking crazy about black Americans, because Caribbeans and Africans talk crazy about about black Americans. And we defend ourselves. Y'all get mad, talk about xenophobic and we're a cult and all this other stuff. And he's a pimp. Tariq Nasheed ain't no pimp. He's a player. The fuck? Y'all Jamaicans are players. Y'all the most toxic people. Between y'all and the Nigerians are the most toxic men in the whole world. Toxic. Why you think a lot of women stay away from y'all? You know that's true, Kwame. Let's not lie. Are Jamaicans toxic? I never took Tariq Nasheed serious. He been a joke with. Nah, but you got to look at it. Those were your scholars. Those were Pan-African scholars. Those were African scholars. Those were black scholars. Dr. Umar wasn't up there. Smalls wasn't up there. Who else? Miss Ali, all of them were up there explaining about your countries, about what's great about your countries. He was talking about the Maroons. Dr. Umar was talking about the Maroons. Smalls was talking about the Maroons. Like, come on. What did he lie about? But y'all say it's a lie, man. This is why I say if this isn't your happiness, you're going to have to fix these countries. You're going to have to go against the English and the Dutch and the French now. Once you get to those countries. And those people aren't going to be civil like we are here. And you know that. So this is why I say you need to build out those countries and those communities little by little. You need to be buying properties right now. Because them Europeans is taking that. Them Chinamen are taking it. Yes, yes, I am. No, I'm not saying don't be proud of being Pan-African, but at the end of the day, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Your happiness comes with a consequence of it. It comes with tribalism. It comes with being scammed sometimes, being not. And this is why I say buy property now. Buy the property now. You're going to have to buy property. You're going to have to buy land. You're going to have to, It's not going to be like us when you have to pay taxes. Once you buy the property, it's your property. But at the end of the day, you got to add on to it. You need to start now. Isaiah Kwame, you need to be starting now. You should be putting a game plan together like, we could put some money together and build stores, build a whole community. I could tell y'all motherfuckers ain't no broke motherfuckers. So right now, y'all could, I say you're an African American, not a foundational like a federally law. You know that law's gonna get changed, right, Kwame? Elon Musk's kids is an African American. The fuck? They're Africans. They're Afrikaners. But yo, I gotta be honest, man. Yo, y'all got a lot of work to be doing. Y'all need to be starting now. You shouldn't be waiting till you turn 40, Kwame. You need to be starting now when you got this, you got this fire right now for Pan-Africanism. I'm being personally honest. You need to be buying that land right now. You should be like, meeting with a developer right now and saying, okay, we want this over here. We want that over here. Yeah, this shit's gonna cost money, Kwame. You got it. It's time, man. Like I said, man, I think you and Isaiah can do it. It's just, y'all need to start now. You can't start when you're 40, Kwame. You're gonna lose that fire. Y'all worry about the white man too much. Yeah, y'all do, man. Fuck them white people. You gotta fucking build that land. Better buy that. You need to buy that land before all the Asians buy that land. You better buy that land before all the Indians and the Europeans buy that land. Depending where you're moving to. If you're moving to Nigeria, yeah, the Chinaman's there. You moving to Liberia, yeah, the Chinaman's there. You better go. Kwame, it doesn't matter when they were started. I'm saying this. Yeah, it's a lineage, Kwame. I've been telling Kwame that forever. It's a lineage. So a lineage really don't have a date on it. It's just, that's their lineage, It just means we're the foundation of America. We're not immigrants, It's just, we're really not immigrants. Yeah, we all came from the mother of mankind, but we are foundation to this land, That's what natives mean. It's just, you're just the foundation of the land, But I do want to say this, man. This is why, Rando, what's your happiness, man? What's your key to happiness, man? It's a cult, not lineage. Yeah, what's your key to happiness, Rando? My main man, Double R. I'm asking everybody today, what's their happiness? You're next, Isaiah, so you need to figure out what your key to happiness is, man. If I see you online, man, and I see y'all in the live chat, I'm gonna ask, what is your key to happiness? How about this? I'm gonna give y'all like 45 seconds. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go run and use this bathroom. I'm gonna put a show on. I'm gonna put a video on so y'all can watch. Let's see. This right here. I know you'll appreciate this, Kwame.
On Riverside is a no-brainer, and I want to show you why. Your podcast transcript is here, and you just have...
I got that root word tonight.
Boom, there it is. There it is. What's going on, guys? Just putting everything up on social media. How y'all living, man? Everybody following in the room. Glad to have everybody up in here. Ladies and gentlemen, ready to chop it up. How y'all living? Everybody give me a retweet. Let everybody know that we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got your notifications. Because sometimes they play little games with the notifications. Some people don't get them, but I hope you got your notifications. And give me some retweets while I'm posting everything on my social media, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing that right now. Glad to have all of you in here. Starting a little late, but I'm here nevertheless. A lot of good stuff we're going to talk about. I won't be on too long because I still want to do my other Twitter space a little later. I like to do that. Just knocking the joints out back to back. But I'm glad you guys are here. We are in here ladies and gentlemen, ready to chop it up like we always do. Let me throw some things up here. By the way, get your Rootwork deodorant at rootworkstyle.com. If you have not gotten your Rootwork deodorant, you get the legendary Rootwork deodorant right here at rootworkstyle.com, ladies and gentlemen. And let me throw one more social media joint up here, then we'll be good to go. Hold on. Let me just throw one more social media joint up here, and then we're good to go. So you said I got the Uncle Willie Earl hat. Yeah, I'm doing the uncle look today. I'm doing the fly uncle look today. That's what I'm on today. All right, and y'all hit that HD, that high definition in the settings there. Everything feels and looks much better in high def, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let me see. Let me shout out to some of my mods real quick. Let me shout out to some of my moderators in the building. Let me see who we got in here. Okay, where we at? Okay. We got, let me shout my moderators out real quick and some of the regulars. Oh yeah, shout out to the jacket. A brother sent me this jacket. Shout out, this is, I didn't design this. A brother sent me this. Shout out to the brother who sent me this fly FBA jacket. Much respect to that brother. I wish he was in here because I cannot recall the brother's name. So I got the Sinners hat on. Yeah, and you know what? I went to see Sinners again today. So I guess subconsciously I was feeling that old school Southern vibe. All right, let me shout out to some of my mods and then some of the regulars. We got, yes, blah, blah. We got Macman Art, FBA 7, Yorkshire, Dion Theory. We got FBA Business, moderator Nikki the God. We got Epic Eric. We got moderator, our good brother Michael Wharton. We got Patricia Jenkins in the building. Shout out to everybody in here. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it, but y'all got to go see the movie. I'm not going to give spoilers because I know people do want to go see the movie, so go see the movie. Very proud of our brother Ryan Coogler. The movie, I think, hold on, let me do a box office tally of Sinners real quick. Let me do a real quick box office lookup of Sinners while we're talking because I don't want to give it inaccurate numbers. Hold on, where we at? Let me give it the accurate numbers. Let me go to Box Office Mojo. Hold on one second. Let me go to Box Office Mojo and see what the tally is for the movie Sinners. All right, let me share that with you guys. Oh man, let me show y'all this. This is Sinners. This is the box office Mojo. That movie has gotten $236 million worldwide, killing the game, ladies and gentlemen. This is how well that film is doing. This film is a phenomenal hit film. I went and saw it again. Y'all need to see it 2 and 3 times. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And remember, the Hollywood industry, the insiders were low-key trying to downplay the trajectory of the film. When it came out, they were on some, it got a strong opening, but it's going to decline. Don't get too excited. It's going to decline. And it didn't. It didn't. They were talking about it wasn't going to make a profit. It made its profit back in a couple of weeks. I'm so very proud of our good brother, Ryan Coogler. And I saw the movie again today, and you appreciate it even more the second time. There were a lot of little things that I was catching that I didn't catch on the first round. That was very, very good. He's killing the game right now. Oh yeah, but they were saying it wasn't gonna make no money.
All right, I'm back. So like I was saying, oh, yo, he's selling pepper spray? Yo, let me get a few of those, man. Check your email. Play those two. All right, Kwame, you know this show ain't about Africa, right? Jesus Christ. Kwame wants to show everybody, son. I'll put it, Kwame. All right? Jesus Christ. This man loves some Africa. All right, give me 1 second, Kwame. No, that's not it. That's my new one. Emotional email. Damn, Kwame, you got a lot, bro. All right, I'll play one. All right.
Curtis Yarvin's thought experiment, Butterfly Revolution. Yarvin, who is Peter Thiel's House philosopher, advocates for using Trump as a chairman or figurehead, who will select a CEO that runs the executive branch without any influence from Congress, giving him absolute sovereignty. As this regime blooms into a butterfly, its authority will become inescapable, capturing as many offices as humanly possible against
Kwame,
the public and
what the hell is this, Kwame? Not this one? All right, hold on. Project 2020.
20-page document would usher in the most conservative executive branch in modern American history, if enacted. It's called Project 2025. Its pages offer new administrations a blueprint for executing a right-wing agenda, from purging the government of thousands of civil servants to dismantling the Department of Education.
We do have to initiate the largest mass deportation process.
How about this, Kwame? I'll watch this tonight, and we'll do a topic question on it. I'll email you back. How about that? I'll email you back. We talk about Project 2025. All right? How about that? We'll watch that, all right? Let me see one more other thing you wrote. Mustafa, shares of reparations. Third, yeah, I know that guy, Khalid. I know Khalid Mustafa. Hold on, is this yours or is this... Oh, my fault. Wrong person. First floor, Washington Street, Roxbury, 6 to 8. Frugal, bookstore, operation. Opening. Let's see. Updates for next meeting. All right. I got a bookmark something. All right. I'm sorry, Kwame. We'll talk about that tomorrow, definitely. You give me something to talk about, because I was just going to do a reaction video. I still might do a reaction video today. I do want to say this, though. Kwame, I think you can do it. I think you can rebuild Africa. You and Isaiah. But I think you might need a team too. Do you have anybody that you know in Africa? Or are you just going there, doing your thing? And Randall, you still never told me what your key to your happiness is. Or key of happiness is, or your happiness. What you want out of, life. You can't keep reviewing into machinery. Oh no, I had this other group. That was just because I had to go real fast. No, it's a lot of us working together. Well, yeah, put y'all money together. Y'all gonna have to bring the community. Y'all gonna have to bring that country together. I think the small goal should be bringing a community together. Then after that, once you got one community together, try to bring another community together. And figuring out how many community that is there, you can definitely get it popping. Playing football brings me happiness. Randall's happiness is people fighting. Jesus Christ, Kwame. Yo, well, do you still play football, Randall, or is it like, oh yeah, you got shit to do? Because if anything, because when people feel like, yeah, man, it's time to hang it up, they become coaches or they become like assistants and stuff. You fight black people. Y'all crazy. Jesus Christ. Yo, real talk. If I didn't know y'all wasn't related, I think y'all were brothers. Y'all fight a lot. But no, it's a good thing, man. Y'all are cool, man. Y'all joke with each other, y'all troll, but y'all are respectful to each other. And I do like that about my channel is that, I'm glad y'all can do that. That y'all are respectful, and when y'all both come in, hey, yo, what's up, Kwame? Oh, what's up, Rando? How's the day going? Boom. Like y'all can fuck around with each other, but y'all still have respect for each other. That's super dope, and we don't get that a lot out of other people's channels and stuff. And salute to y'all, both of y'all. Salute to Randall and Kwame. Cause making us they slave masters doesn't win, or have his way with my people makes me happy. Well, this is where, like I said, it's time to get busy now, because this might be like I told y'all, I said do a 5-year plan and see what y'all can do in those 5 years and see how much y'all can do in those 5 years. I don't have the information about her in America, but I rock with Kwame. I just think Kwame don't have all that. Yeah, we all love Kwame on this channel. Kwame's that dude, man. Salute to you, Kwame. But I think y'all need to set up a 5-year plan. I'm glad you do semi-pro. Semi-pro is dope. Definitely staying healthy is always great. And I'm going to say this, Rando. With semi-pro, health is always the key to everything. And father time. But if you keep yourself healthy, you can play for... Even if you're like in your 30s, you can play for another 15 years. If you play smart. So definitely... Oh, I'm 51. Yeah, you can still play. Yo, keep yourself healthy. Your shit ain't... your time ain't over until your body telling you it's over. Then after that, you could give off all that wisdom that you got from semi-pro. That's how dope... that's how dope, time is. The time of circle is. It's like, damn, I'm learning. I'm just learning. Now I'm a pro. Let me, let me do my thing. Damn, I can't keep on doing this no more. You know what? Let me teach these people the knowledge of this shit, So that's what's super dope about football and other stuff. Randall's probably have mulatto kids. Yeah, man, people love black women, Kwame. That's why, man. Black women, what? You crazy as hell, man. I always tell people that all the time. I don't believe in people saying mulatto kids. So I don't believe in that. I don't know why. It's just, man, because I got a cousin that's half white, and I don't think he's mulatto. That's the thing. I got reparations today. I'll be gone today. Yeah, if you get reparations, you're gonna run up to another country with the money and stuff. I know, Isaiah. I already know. It's just my fiance passed away, Kwame. She was black. Hey, Sorry about your cream, man. Rest in peace, man. You know. But yeah. Yeah, everybody love black women. Black women, yo, one thing I always tell people all the time. Most people don't understand, yo, black women will, hold you down. Like a real black woman will hold you down on your worstest times, man. She'll be there with you for your worstest times. I think people need that's why I always tell people all the time, appreciate, my baby mother's Cambodian, man. I tell people all the time, everybody's like, yo, should I get an Asian girl? I said no. I tell them no. It's not that you're not going to get a good Asian girl. It's just they're culturally disrespectful, you know? I'll just tell you that. The shit that they say to their husbands, like even, I don't even think they respect their husbands if they're the same culture. I know. Nah, you don't know, man. I know. Nah, I don't think so. It depends, man. Yo, I'm gonna tell you something. To be rude to mess with a black woman, then blame the black woman. Yeah, Kwame, that's kind of low, bro. Come on, you wilding out, Kwame. Damn, Kwame. Well, yeah, man. Yo, black women understand, man. Most of them did. Yeah, it be like that, man. You know, like, want to hear something crazy? I used to go out with this girl. She was actually white. I actually dated a white girl before. I dated her for 6 years. She didn't want me to get a job nor nothing. She was a correctional officer and she had properties. She didn't want me to get a job or nothing. And this is where I got into BMWs. I always had a BMW because my uncle, but you don't fit with the plan for Project 2025. Republicans want a white Christians. Nah, I doubt it. And the reason why, this is why I say, yo, those people who say they want a white Christian nation, most of them are poor. Because the rich white people believe in money and wealth. So I think that's the poor white people that are on the forefront. You know, because they say, oh, well, you know what? Because let me tell you what the rich people do. Like, want to hear something crazy? I don't consider Diddy black. I consider him rich. What Diddy's in trial for, he's gonna get away with it. I'm gonna be all jokes aside, because people don't know the shit that Diddy has done is normal. These freak offs and stuff, those shits is normal. Yo, let me tell you something about New York, Kwame. I'm gonna pimp some shit to your own state. Your state is kind of the mecca of orgies. It's the mecca of orgies, cause y'all used to have a big ass They have a big ass modeling companies there. They're known for modeling companies, and there's more known for great modeling jobs. One thing I do remember about New York is the marketing parties. They got cake full bowls of coke, weed, and pills. Hold on. Diddy didn't do anything wrong besides domestic violence. Yeah, I know, but at the end of the day, the way how people are going to look at it, because at the end of the day, he kind of convert the girl onto doing it. Like, oh, well, I didn't want to do it, but, you know, that's what they're going to try to go with. I don't know if it's going to work, but he got great lawyers, so he might get off on it. These women want it. Yeah, they want a payday, but that's every woman, you know? It's just with Cassie, she took advantage of it, and you know why? And this is what I really think. She was jealous of Young Miami. No, that's New York. It's New York. New York is known for orgies. Hollywood is known for like rituals and stuff, doing like demonic shit. I will agree to that. But New York is known for sex, freak sex shit. New York and Miami, they low key are known for that. Did he have the best lawyers money can buy? Bro has 9 Yeah, of course. He's not going to jail. It's just like, yo, why you think all those people in New York? Let me ask you a question. Why you think all those people who was assigned to Diddy did something wrong with him? There's something wrong with all of them. One guy went Muslim. The other guy he went crazy. The other guy gets, there's more to it than most people know. Yeah, freaky deakies. Yeah, them New York motherfuckers. Yo, them New York girls is freaks, especially the ones in Soho. Yeah. Yeah, Diddy was throwing those parties, but at the end of the day, there was more to those parties that they're not saying. I'm telling you. I went to a modeling party in New York. That's how I used to market getting jobs for modeling. Yes, going to those parties, drinking, having a good time, fucking women on. There's some guys at those parties that used to watch their girlfriend get fucked by 2 different dudes. Or maybe 3, or having a gangbang on their girl. Then after that, jump in and fuck her after everybody's done with her. Kiss her all in the mouth. I'm telling you. Did he know? They didn't even touch the surface. I'm letting you know. They didn't even touch the surface. Yeah. Yeah. What's his name? Pimp C was so against all that shit. Cause there were motherfuckers was doing down low shit in those parties. Yes. Let me ask you a question. Remember when homie came out and said that the dude grabbed his nuts and sexually assaulted him? Terry Crews? You don't think he was, penalized for that shit? You don't think motherfuckers did some shit to Terry Crews? Yeah. They did something to Terry Crews. That's why Terry Crews is so quiet about it now. And I'm just being personally honest. I know how that industry is. That's what got me out that industry. Just seeing how that shit was going and they want you to do some weird shit. Yes. Yes, I'm telling you. That's why those people are finding those happiness. But Cassie, and I'm going to tell y'all this, Cassie, she was already a freak. She was already freaked. Motherfucker was already freaking her. Paying man to sleep. Yeah, motherfuckers been... Bro, let me tell you something. I was a professional mistress. I was a legit professional mistress. And chicks paid for that type of lifestyle. That's what gets certain chicks off, knowing that they got a whole bunch of money and they give you that money. Yes. There are women like that. There are rich women like that. That get off on that. Sometimes the husband gets off on things like that. They want you to play a role like they just bust in the rooms like, yo, what are you doing? Yeah. Yeah, you play a role. Yeah, bro. I was a professional mistress, and I'm telling you, shit like that is normal. I have went to these freak off parties. There are some doors that you go into that you need to watch what door you go into. I'm gonna go even further than this. And this is why I talk about happiness today. There's a door I went into and I was seeing a guy get plowed by 2 dudes. And I was like, oh shit, I got the fuck out of that party. I told me and my boy, yo, we gotta go. He's like, why? What happened? I went into the wrong room. We gotta go, man. I can't do this shit. Yo, people get off like that. You don't think porn stars do that? You don't think adult entertainers do that? You don't think girls like watching their husband fucking? Let me ask you a question. What you think Adam 22 is into? You don't think Adam 22 is into the same thing? You think he just started letting people fuck his wife? Niggas was been fucking his wives. Yeah, that's what Christmas is about. What do you mean? That's what this whole Christmas is about. It's called gift giving. Christmas. It's called gift giving. They used to get drunk, have a big party, and they fucked each other. It's called gift giving. Yeah. It was a pagan holiday. What you mean? I'm letting you know. Yeah. Yeah, Cat Williams let that shit out the bag, man. And I was telling people for years this is the type of shit that was going on in these parties. I've been told people that, nigga, swinger parties? Have y'all ever been to a swinger party? You think Diddy is dark. There'll be a motherfucking stroking his tool in a corner. While the girl's sucking on his tool, watching his wife get banged out. Yes. Motherfuckers be drunk out their mind. Yo, I'm telling you. Let me tell y'all something. I was going to do a documentary, and I'm still debating to do it in a documentary called Sex Revolution. You know, it's about different sex. It's Sex World's Revolution. That's what I was gonna call it. It talks about different ways of how sex evolved, basically. Yeah, Las Vegas, Los Angeles. I've been to parties where white girls. Yeah, man, that's light, man. I'm telling you, that's some light shit. I'm letting you know, Kwame, that's the light shit that you seen. You seen the PG version of that shit. But that other stuff, nigga, I've been in orgies. I'm telling you. When I was modeling in New York, Kwame, this is how we get market out here. This is how we learn about different jobs and castings and stuff. Even actors went to these parties. Why you think, what's his name? I'm not going to say he was involved in it because I never seen him in it. But why you think Lou Pearlman was getting caught up in all this fraud shit? Lou Pearlman, and I think he's a son of a bitch. That nigga tried to sign me, and I said, hell no. Hell no. There was something up with him. Yes. I'm letting you know. Oh, yeah, you don't think he was a part of that stuff? Come on. And he might have done that shit just to get his life back together, get his career back. Why you think people's pushing forward to him to being the second greatest of all time, second greatest entertainment or third entertainer of all time? Because I think the first is Michael Jackson, second James Brown, and it might be Chris Brown next, you know? Yeah, it's wild. It gets wild, but he orders escorts. He's ordering, like, yo, drugs. Like, yo, it gets bad. I've been to a party similar to that. Yeah, you'd be surprised, man. A bitch tell her husband, "Oh, I want to try him." "Oh, you think he's sexy?" "Yeah, I think he's sexy. He must got a big dick." "Hey, yo, can you fuck my wife?" "No, yo, I'll pay you, please. I just want to watch." Yeah, niggas do shit like that. Yeah, this ain't nothing new, man. That's why I say, yo, why you think all those people were getting out that shit? That shit was tormenting them. That shit was all trauma. You know, and some people just trying to get a bag out of it. It's like, yo, I'm gonna make up anything. You know, nigga, how you think 50 is feeling right now? 50 got a son by this girl, and she was out here getting freaked out by 4 dudes a night. You know? It's like that sometimes. It's just, yeah, she was trying to make that man happy. She was trying to make Diddy happy. I'm just being personally honest. 3 dudes banged her out, then after that, she want to have sex with Diddy. And she's laying in bed with Diddy. There's a lot of freaky shit that people go on that people don't know. That's why those people aren't happy. That's why a lot of people leaves that industry and say like, yo, I don't want nothing to do with it. Yeah. Yeah, man, but love is love, man. We can't hate on love, man. He fell in love, man. He just didn't know she was into shit like that. He had a baby by her. He's all fucked up. You don't think 50 is mad right now? Like, yo, what the fuck, man? You're embarrassing our kid. 50 was probably already telling her, like, yo, don't go over there. That's a life that you don't want. She was like, yo, he's paying all my bills. She had an allowance. Cassie had an allowance. Cassie's allowance a month was like $500,000. $300,000 to $500,000 a month. Getting cars, our own home. She get to fuck who she wanna fuck, as long as Diddy can watch. Nah, there's worse people than Diddy out there. I'm gonna be personally honest. Diddy's not. I'm telling you, Diddy's not even. Yo, he's not even the scratch of the surface. That's why all these people. Let me tell you something. And I'm gonna say this. Somebody trained Diddy. Diddy was not like that. Diddy was trained to be like that. So I'm not gonna fully blame Diddy for this. Yes, it was his choice because he's an adult. But Diddy couldn't have been. Hey man, I'm telling you, man, yo, these women was getting money thrown at them. Dude, these escorts, these male escorts who never been in that shit, that they were just strippers fucking for money, $2,000-$3,000. Oh yeah, I get to fuck this girl for I'm up Clive dated? Yeah, probably. It must have been Clive. There's already allegations on Clive right now with Lady Luck. Like, come on. Him grooming bitches and stuff. Yeah, they do that. That's how that industry is. That's what the industry is for, is to groom you to be the best. To be the best. You don't think these people are going through something? You don't think these people think, like, damn, this is my happiness? Look at Miley Cyrus. You don't think she was in that shit? You don't think she was getting gangbanged and, like, yo, sucking dick and everything? Getting double penetrated? What? All of a sudden, she don't drink, she don't smoke no more. Her music changed. I'm telling you. Her music is a little bit more sadder than you really think it is. Amanda Bynes. She was supposed to be the next best thing from Nickelodeon. Yeah. He's on some shit right now. We haven't heard from him in a while. Let me tell you something. I think they got Kanye. I think he's a piece of shit, but I think they were fucking Kanye, yeah. I think they were fucking Kanye. And I think they still got a little grip on Kanye. That's why he's doing all this stupid shit that he's doing. Blaming everybody but his fucking self. He's just mad at everybody because nobody didn't think Kanye would be who he is now. And to this day, people still don't respect him as one of the greatest rappers of all time because he don't write his shit. We know who writes Kanye's music. It's just he can't accept it. That's one thing he can't accept. He can't accept, you know. I don't think. All right, I'm gonna be personally honest. Let me see. Regardless of what people think of Diddy, these women consented. Yeah, but there's these news laws, Kwame. There's these news laws out here, like where shit. Like even say if a girl says no, you be like, oh come on, baby, let me do it, and you just start kissing on her. Some people can consider that sexual assault. It depends on what state it is. Yeah, it's dope. But if you notice, Kanye hasn't been Kanye in a long time. Kanye hasn't been Kanye since his mother died. And I personally, let me tell you, I think he sacrificed his mother. I personally think he sacrificed his mother. And I'm not trying to be, Harold with the kufi, with the, Illuminati kufi, but it's just, my nigga, it just doesn't make sense. After his mother's died, he's getting billions of dollars. He's getting 3 times millions of dollars. He's a fashion designer. He knows nothing about fashion designing. That shit is crazy. I would never wear that shit that he had motherfuckers wearing. He had niggas wearing slave clothes. I know. But this is what I'm trying to say. It's a money move, but at the end of the day, Diddy probably did some shit that he wasn't supposed to do. And they're trying to take all his money. They're trying to liquidate that motherfucker right now. They're trying to take all his money. Where he has to start from the beginning. I'm just being personally honest about that stuff. Like I said, I know how that industry is. That industry, man, I got the fuck out of there. I already knew what it was going to turn into. I knew motherfuckers was going to get lined up and go to jail. You think Epstein's was the first one to be doing island shit like that? No, the motherfuckers been doing that shit for years. You think Epstein Island was the first island that these motherfuckers was caught? Nigga, Jared got caught fucking little boys from the Philippines. There were people already doing that, going to the Philippines and fucking boys and stuff and fucking girls and Asian people selling their kids to these creepy white people. Yeah. Yes. How you think these little boys is turning into lady boys? These little kids out here talking, feminists as a motherfucker in those countries. Them foreigners come over there be fucking them boys, man. Hostels, yes. Eastern Europe, yeah, Eastern Europe, right? Like Bosnia and all of them, yeah. In Germany, you gang banging bitches up and stuff, busting on their face. 15 dudes busting on your face and all on your body and shit like that. Then dude be tired, then come back 10 minutes later trying to fuck you, nigga. I'm telling you, man. I'm letting you know, bro. Y'all gotta understand. Like, if you ever look at my link, it has Pornhub on it. I do reaction videos to that. Because I know that lifestyle, man. I have seen people do that type of lifestyle. I have friends in that industry. I have people that I consider friends in that industry. And they act like I don't know what's going on. I know what's going on. I tell them this is why I don't go to those parties with you. Oh, but you want to do a document? Yeah, I'm doing a documentary on it. Telling y'all how the sex world evolved. Y'all been doing this shit for years, but it has evolved to something different. Oh, you trying to pimp? No, I'm not pimping y'all out. Actually, this is actually even helping you. People understand y'all more and stop just thinking that y'all are just objects. They dig deep into the mental health of it. Sometimes some of this shit can be mental health. Let me ask y'all a question. Elena the Plug, you think she's happy? Yeah, she got money. She fucked Jason Love. He was a AVN male model of the year at, I think, 2019. And he was already famous before she got her fame from Plug Talk. Come on, it helped both of their careers. It even helped Adam 22. But now let's ask about this. You don't think Adam 22 be throwing those same parties as Diddy? What's the difference? You think it, let me tell you something. You think it was a coincidence that this motherfucker put his business out here of somebody fucking his wife the day after his wedding? I'm just asking. I just know how this, like, the life is crazy. I talk to my homegirl like almost every day on X, and I tell her like, yo. She's like, she's like, do you think I'm sexy? I was like, why you asking me that? She's like, I don't know. Sometimes I don't feel like it. I was like, guys want you, right? Like, yeah, that's what sexy is. They're attracted to you. Well, they want to fuck you. That's what attractive and being sexy is somebody who wants to fornicate with you. If you ask me, do I like you? I don't like you like that. No. It's different, you know? Like I told you, and the thing also what they can do to Diddy is crazy is that he ordered the escorts over state lines. That's the fucked up part because he paid for the ticket. You know, that can be considered sex trafficking. Yeah. That's how, what's his name? Hunter Biden got caught up in all that shit. And he was about to do 10 years for it. Because he was buying prostitutes over in Las Vegas and bringing them to Washington, D.C. He paid for the tickets. And the cocaine and the drugs. Sex trafficking. That's what they can try to get him with, but I don't think it can work because it's weird. It's weird how he did it. Because he did it through his girl. He made his girl pay for it, and he reimbursed her, so they don't have like a he don't have like a money trail. So it's weird. Like I said, it's a weird case. Like that's why when they say, "Oh well, I didn't want to do it, but I did it because I loved him or because I liked him." It's kind of like a gray line. Like, damn, like, did he make you do it or did you want to do it? Or did he make you do it or did you just do it because of him? You know, it's weird. I don't know, man. I think that's why I say, yo, these people weren't happy. This is why I say that you got to find the key of happiness. Cassie might think she's happy, but Cassie is a manipulating type of girl. And we can't even put it past her husband. Her husband was probably like, yo, we need some money here. Say this motherfucker violated you. All of a sudden, this came out the woodwork. This is what we're trying to say. This Cassie shit came out the woodwork. Because who was his queen? He only had 2 real queens. It was Young Miami and Jennifer Lopez. He loved Jennifer Lopez. Young Miami was getting her fucking freak on. She's from Miami. They like to fuck. You know? Like, it's like I always tell people, like, yo, the whole situation is weird. I don't know if you can actually really listen to those girls. That's how weird the situation is. I'm not trying to say that they're lying, but I don't think that they're telling the truth fully. You know, yeah, it's like I said, it's weird. It's like really, really weird. I will say this too. If I was damn, what's the word? Give me a second. All right, that's good. I do want to say this. I feel like those girls, they were looking for something. I don't know what they were looking for, but they were fucking with Diddy because they were looking for something. I think they were looking for a money move, and they were like, yo, I'll do anything to be rich or be famous. And when they figured out, like, yo, we gotta fuck, what you think was going on? I think Cassie wanted to do all of that shit in the beginning. I personally do think that. Because I don't think anybody will stay for no 10 years. You know, I don't think he had that type of manipulation power. I think she got off on the thrill. This motherfucker having guns and shit, and like her traveling and stuff. She got a gangster and a businessman. Diddy's a gangster. Diddy's father before he passed away worked for Bumpy Johnson, or was it Frank Lucas? I think it was Bumpy Johnson. That's the godfather of Harlem, Bumpy Johnson. Frank Lucas is a rat. He's Geechee. They both Geechee. Don't get me wrong. Both of them are Geechee, but Frank Lucas is a rat. You know, I'm sorry to say it, but he snitched on his whole people. The fuck? But yeah, that lifestyle, it's a sad lifestyle. I will say that. Cause I was going to swinger parties straight for like, I think I was at swinger parties for a year and a half. I have seen crazy shit. I never did not know homosexual acts. I absolutely did not. But I have seen people give in. Then when they see me, they can't look at me no more because I know, and it hurts them. Because it's like that's why when they say, yo, you sold your soul, you sold your soul. There's nothing there no more. Cassie, there's nothing really there no more. She might look like she's happy, but there's really nothing in there. She was still talking to Diddy. Let me tell you how powerful this is, how much sex has power. Yo, Diddy, she was married to her husband, and Diddy was still calling her. She was still in contact with Diddy. She was still in contact with Diddy. You think that motherfucker that she's with, let me tell you something. Diddy let her go. Diddy let her go. She didn't let Diddy go. Diddy let her go. Diddy didn't have no use for her anymore. And I gotta be personally honest. So she went to this motherfucker. She went from having millions of dollars, Diddy's money, to having her husband who makes like probably $70,000 a year. That's a personal trainer. That motherfucker's broke. The walls got smaller, the money got shorter. You think she want that fucking life? You think she could get used to that fucking life? No. She's mentally broken, man. She don't even know what happiness is no more. She think what she just did is the best thing. She thinks she's an advocate for a lot of things, knowing that he was married to Kim Porter, and she used to watch Kim Porter get beat up by Diddy. I even heard sometimes she joined in. I have heard this before. I heard this from a friend, and I heard this online. This wasn't... You don't think she knew how Diddy was? That's the crazy part. She was just happy with the money. She thought the money made her happy. She thought money made her... I haven't even seen people that sold their kids to these CEOs and these chairmen. These people are fucking sick. Some of these rich people are fucking sick, man. Some of the sick and perverted things that these motherfuckers do, people don't know. And they've been doing it for like 50 years, 40 years. You don't think... Let me tell you something. Weinstein got it easily. He got it easy. He only doing 20 years. But what they did to R. Kelly, this motherfucker got 20 years plus more. They threw the book at him. But this motherfucker Weinstein been doing this shit for like 50, 60 years. If he been doing it for 50, 60 years, how many people you think else was doing what Weinstein was doing? Then this goes into what y'all was just talking about, Los Angeles. City of Angels. But a state crossover from Sin City. Is that really the City of Angels? After all this creepy shit that we've been hearing about, all these sex parties, all these blood rituals and stuff. Let me tell you something. You don't think Kim Kardashian's mother sold her? Say like, yo, you want to be famous and this is what it's going to take. You don't think Kris Jenner in her time, or whatever, Kris Kardashian at the time was fucking other people that probably got pregnant by other people, gang banged out and stuff by nigga. That's Los Angeles. They were probably in Calabasas at that time. And that's where they really get busy at. Why you think you hear everybody talk about Calabasas? I'm just being personally honest. Them people are not happy in there. That's another reason why I always tell people all the time. There's nothing against LA. It's just I would never move there. It's too much stuff, too much that goes on in LA. From the rituals and the satanic sex rituals and the sex cults and the devil worship in that state, to the gang banging. Not people not knowing what they're fighting for. It's an unholy war that's going on in LA right now. There's an unholy war that's going on in LA right now. And probably in other places too, but LA, there's really an unholy war. And I always tell people, you know what? Just be careful out there. Oh, I'm from California. I know, but at the end of the day, you know what goes on in California. You think, let me ask y'all a question. You think Pop Smoke's, let me tell you something. And this is how this is what I think. I don't think Pop Smoke's just died because he was at the wrong place at the wrong time and they just ran up in his house. I think there was more to it. I think even with Tupac, there was more to it than just, oh yeah, this dude's shooting. Oh yeah, Diddy had something to do. No, it was more to that. There was more to it. When we think that's all it was, no, it got to be something more to it. People just don't. In LA, I'm going to say this. People just don't shoot for no reason. People don't kill for no reason. People don't rob for no reason. Somebody said something. I'm just letting y'all know, it's just those type of lifestyles, those celebrity lifestyles. Why you think those therapists get paid a lot of money in LA? They need somebody to talk to. They're not all in there. Something happened. Some of these people sell their kids off to these kids, sell these kids off to these directors to get these parts. Why you think these kids, they're all fucked up. All the Disney kids is fucked up. All the Nickelodeon kids is fucked up. Fucking Jaden Smith emancipated his own fucking self when he turned 16. Got away from his fucking mother and father. What is that telling you? You think that shit just never been there? You think this shit just started? No, this shit always been there. And I'm not trying to scare y'all niggas and tell y'all, oh yeah, don't go pursue your dream, but you got to be careful. Because at the end of the day, these people will try to taint your happiness. It's like, yo, I gave you what you wanted. It just came with a price. You asking the Wishmaster to be this and be that. No, sometimes, it's going to take a while. You think this life is fucked up just to be fucked up? No. You think that this is why I always talk about foundational Black Americans. You think we just do what we just do for no reason? No, we do this because at the end of the day, we tired of fighting. We're tired of fighting for everybody that don't want us fighting for them. Or people who want to be black when it's convenient. Or making this smokescreen saying that we're all united as one. Knowing that, oh yeah, they're in a fucked up situation right now and they don't want to ask for help. This is why I say, you gotta find your happiness. This is why I said, Kwame, Isaiah, if you really want to live in Africa, you really want Africa to be a strong country, you gotta start now. Time don't wait for nobody. Time ain't gonna say, well, we're gonna wait until they turn 40 so we can give them this. No, fuck that. We don't know how you are gonna be in 40. When you turn 40, or when you think you're ready. It has never been like that. Like I started wrestling at the age of 35, 36. I just tell people all the time, you just got to be careful. Everything has a price to it. Ain't nothing free. The shit that is free is the biggest price that it's gonna cost. But thank y'all for watching the show. Thank you, Kwame, Rando, Isaiah, Rando. Shout out to Rando. Salute. And all y'all who was here, thank y'all all, man. I appreciate all of y'all. I'm sorry I had to put on a Kufi hat with the Illuminati Kufi hat, but it's just I have to tell the truth, man. I have to tell the truth that what goes on into those parties. I tell you, there's sex parties up in there. Those motherfuckers aren't happy. Salute, Rando. Salute. But y'all take care. I might do something later on today. I don't know. But just have a great day, and